In this lecture, we are going to see what interface element changes that have taken place in the module of Ansys Mechanical when we compare old version of the Ansys Workbench software with the new version of Ansys Workbench software. So for that, I have opened already completed project in two different versions of Ansys Workbench software, and as usual on the left side of your screen the version of Ansys Workbench is nothing but 18.2, and towards the right side of your screen the version of the Ansys software is 2021 R1, right? So for us to access Ansys Mechanical module, we just need to come to this model cell and double click on the model cell. So I will double click on the model cell of the older version of Ansys software. Then I will also come to the newer version of Ansys Workbench software and I will double click on the model module so that I can open Ansys Mechanical in both the versions of the Ansys Workbench software. So both versions of Ansys Mechanical are open now on the screen, and if you observe, there is a change in the interface between both the versions of the software. So this side you are seeing the Ansys Mechanical interface for Ansys R18.2, whereas coming here you are seeing the interface for Ansys 2020 R1 version, right? So if you observe, there are few key elements that we need to know before understanding the differences between the elements of each of the version of the Ansys Mechanical software. So if you observe, the first important element is called as a tree outline. This is what is called as a tree outline, and if you observe, the placement of the tree outline is same in both the versions of the software. Here in the older version it is located towards the left side of the workbench interface. Likewise in the newer version as well, this particular outline tree is located towards the left side of the workbench interface. So the position of the outline tree haven't changed. Then coming to the groups, so these are all called as groups in the outline tree. See, there are different groups here in the outline tree. Here also in the newer version as well, there are different groups in the outline tree, okay? But if you observe, there is one additional group called as the materials group that has been added in the newer version of the software. So this particular materials group is not present in the older versions of the software, okay? So that is one major difference. Then coming to the details window, it is located at the same position just below the outline tree in both of the versions of the software. So there is no change in the position of this details window. So whenever we select any option, we can see the details for that option here just below the outline tree in both versions of the software. It may be lower version of Ansys Workbench or higher version of the Ansys Workbench. Then coming to the topmost interface, see here in older versions of Ansys software, all the options that are available are arranged in terms of toolbars. But if you observe, in the newer versions of the software, all of the options are arranged in a ribbon type style. So this is called as a ribbon. This entire area is called as a ribbon bar, and in this ribbon bar we will be having different tabs. So see here we have different tabs, and each tab consists of something called as a groups. So these are all group of commands, okay? So what is the major change in the interface? Whatever the options that are available for us in the older versions of Ansys software, they used to be arranged in the form of toolbars. See here, these are all different toolbars. But coming to the latest version of Ansys Workbench software, all of the arrangement of options has taken place in the ribbon style, and you can access different options through different types of tabs and different groups of options. One more important element that we need to notice is the placement of what is known as a context toolbar. So this is what is called as a context toolbar in the older versions of the Ansys software, and this context toolbar changes with different kinds of options that we are going to select. Likewise, if you come to the newer versions of the software, instead of the context toolbar, we are having what is known as a context tab. This is what is called as a context tab. Inside this context tab, whatever the options that are present in the context toolbar of older version of the software, same things are available here in the context tab of the newer version of Ansys Workbench software.